everyone.
Hi. As you know, it's Sadie Lopez, aka Mousie. As you know, Sadie, as much as I have begged her, is still not on social media.
Sorry, guys.
So
Sorry.
So
But I love you guys.
Yes, and that was the most important thing. We definitely wanted to come on, and I wanted to make sure you guys understand that she, even though she's not technical, she does not lack love for you guys and appreciation.
Absolutely.
So the first thing we were going to do is we wanted to cover a shout out. The reason that Sadie actually came over was that we could do a shout out, and that shout out is of course for Margarita.
Yes, Margarita, we love you so much, and we are so excited for Houston. So Houston next weekend, we'll be there. We're very excited, and Margarita, thank you. We miss you. We can't wait to see you and see all of you too.
Yes, and I have explained this 10,000 times, but I explained that one of the reasons that we even do meet and greets is actually because of Margarita and of Lifestyles, of her store in Houston. So I wanted to give a really quick shout out to the whole team at Lifestyles. Say thank you guys so much. We'll see you on July 30th in Houston. It's Lifestyles with a Z, and it's located at 239 Greens Road in Houston, Texas. And it's inside the International Flea Market, so you guys will be able to stop by and come visit us. Margarita throws down when it comes to these meet and greets.
She really does.
She makes these enormous, ginormous baskets. And as of last count, I think there were 4 gift baskets that she is doing for a raffle. The store is full of authentic, cool, pin-up, chola gear, just everything that represents the culture is represented in that store. And she's one of the first and only people in Houston doing this, so I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much. On that note, we do have some people here, but we're going to push through this and we're going to answer some of your questions. First question up, which I thought was a crazy question, and I asked Sadie already, was what does it feel like to be an icon?
You answer that one, because ask my kids. I don't know.
Yeah, really. The truth of the matter is that neither one of us feels like icons on a regular basis. It's surreal to even be considered an icon, let alone, you know, we just make our way through our daily lives, and it's when we're chauffeuring and cooking, and it doesn't really feel iconic.
Yes.
Rose Sakara Black said the only thing that was crazy about Mousie and Sadgirl was their Nesto thing.
Oh.
With me and my girls, we all live by the unwritten rule: you don't F with your friends, man, or exes, and you don't F with your ex's friends.
That's true.
Yes, and that is, I think, how a lot of us are raised, and we try to be, but that's the ideal.
Yeah.
The reality is that what happened between Mousie and Sadgirl, it happens in real life, and you can just get caught up in situations.
And I think that's the core of the story too, is that no matter what they went through, when it came down to it, at the end, it was all about their friendship and that bond. And we came back around, and we found each other again. And it showed that kind of love, that kind of bond between true friendship, can't break it.
Absolutely. Angel Aviles, my husband, was 5 years old and was in the film with his father and mother. He lost his dad 14 years ago, and he watches this movie because they were in it and never knew. Oh, honey, oh, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
They are in between the palm trees. Oh, so I've been trying to plan a trip to Cali, but never happens. Well, Natasha, we definitely want to send our love and our condolences to your husband's dad. And what an amazing thing to have been caught on film. Like, I get it because I lost my brother, and to see his films is just always so special. So blessings to you guys, to your entire family. Mousie, you don't have any social media, can't find you. Why?
Sorry. Why? I don't know. Sometimes it seems so overwhelming to me, and I don't know. I don't.
We came up in a generation where social media wasn't, I mean, there was no social media.
Yeah, and I think also that for me, as much as what I do for a living is very public and very out there, I'm kind of shy, and I'm kind of like private, and I think that sometimes that's the struggle, and that's like, yeah, the balance that I kind of have to overcome to just do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And learn that you don't have to put everything out there.
Yeah.
That's what's cool. You know, you just put what you can
Well,
out.
you know, you got this down.
And that, well, you know, you learn those things. You learn those things. How does it feel to know that Mi Vida Loca is still a movie people are both keeping alive after so many years, and that you were part of that?
I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it, but every time I'm reminded on how the subject it just doesn't really die. It's about friendship. That's the core, like I said before. And I think that no matter what generation, whether it's the kids of, you know, the people that were around when we shot the movie, or the following generation, they would always be able to relate to the core of it, which is family, friendship, overcoming hardship, and understanding our weaknesses and finding our strengths through it. And I think that's why it's still around sometimes, and it really shocks me. And I have people around who just come up to me, and when I least expect it, and it's not always just people that I expect would have seen the movie, and then they'll come up and say how they can relate to it. So thank you for making it timeless, I guess.
Absolutely, I feel the same way. Again, the idea of being a part of that is really sort of surreal.
Yeah.
You know, you really can't explain what it feels like to have, you know, done what you wanted to do when you were a kid. You know, I think that one of the biggest pleasures that I get when I speak to people is being able to tell people that you can do anything, and I know that because I've lived that. We were two brown girls that, you know, got to be in movies and got to make a living doing something that everyone said was silly or impossible, or why don't you get a real job, or why don't you, you know, there is a lot of that around, but we had the opportunity to do something incredible, and as it happens, it turned out to be 10 times, a million
bigger
times
than we
more.
thought.
Yeah, we just went to be a part of this small little independent film, and we had no idea that it would just affect so many people in such a way. What's the one thing people would be surprised to know about you?
About who? You?
About you?
About me? Gosh, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. So,
See?
what's the one thing people would be surprised to know about me? You guys know so much. I'm sure that must be a question directed at Sadie.
No, you're trying to put it on me.
No, I mean, what they
That's
be
a good
surprised to know?
question.
Okay, so would people be surprised to know where you grew up?
Maybe that I was. Oh, I lived in this small little village when I was like 10, where the church was bigger than the whole town. I went to a Catholic school for a full year. That's a big deal for me. And
That's news.
yeah, and I only spoke. I went from being, you know, starting school here and going, you know, to this small little village in Merida, and speaking only Spanish for a whole year. And that was one of, if not the most amazing experience in my whole life. Probably one of the happiest I've ever felt.
Well, I didn't even know that. I'm like, wow.
So there.
And I've known her for 20 years, so you got it hot off the press just now, and I didn't even know. I went through something similar like in MVL. I remember watching it so young and relating to everything. You two are awesome Latinas. How do I even start looking into acting? I don't care. I just want to be in one movie that will change one person's life. Help!
Well, there now with social media and just the way that things have changed, I think that there's many avenues to go. it's self-expression, really. That's what acting is. It's a way of sharing your feelings, sharing your thoughts. So there's many ways to do it. You can shoot, you know, you can write something with someone and shoot it, and then just, right? Just post it now. I mean, like that, it's that easy now. As far as like a big filming thing, it's a process. It is an industry that, you know, it's got its, you know, its rules and it's, but there are ways to do it and get into it. If depends to what capacity you want to be in the movie. I don't know, like what advice would you give?
You know, I think there's so many things to consider. Like acting as a craft is a whole separate calling, to be honest. I think that you can act, you can just turn on YouTube and just start acting.
Yeah.
You can just decide that you're going to join a local playhouse. You can decide that you're going to start putting on plays at your school or in your community. Go and do a community play, just put it up. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You can just start acting in your living room. Acting is like dance, it's like music. You have it in you that you cannot not do it.
Yeah.
And then there's the business of acting. There's the acting industry, the film industry, and that's a whole different place. And they're both incredible. They're both amazing. To be able to express it, to have it inside you, and to be able to do it is incredible. To have the opportunity to make money at it and to do it for a living, it requires the same thing that it would require to do any business, and that is discipline, focus, setting goals, and just learning the process. And there are a lot of books out there that can tell you about auditioning and, you know, where to audition, and then, like Sadie said about social media, there's so many people now on YouTube, and they're making differences. They're not necessarily acting, although some people are. We're actually going to have an incredible young comedian on with us in San Antonio. Her name is Myra Alex. She started making videos and posting them on Facebook, and before you knew it, 250,000 people started following her, and they love her. And she did it because she was compelled to do it, and she couldn't do it in any other way. And I think that when you have a deep desire to do something, you will not stop. Now, in terms of changing people's lives, I think we can do that every day.
Yes.
And I would suggest you start today. You don't have to be in front of a camera to make someone's day. Just be a positive force in your own life, and it will shine through and affect other people.
Absolutely.
Is Mousie coming to San Antonio?
Oh, I'm
she does.
sorry. I'm sorry, I can't do San Antonio, but hopefully in the near future we'll plan something again, and I'll be able to make it. But I'm gonna miss you guys. Sorry, I can't make it.
And we are definitely making strides to make more of that happen. We're making strides in our own model, in our own meet and greet model, so that we have a nice schedule and it's planned far ahead of time, so that, you know, Sadie, who is a mom extraordinaire and really, really supportive of her husband's business, and she can come out and meet you guys more and more. Will there ever be another movie, maybe with the kids y'all had by Ernesto?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
At this point, your guess is as good as ours.
Yes.
To both you ladies, if you had one superpower, what would it be, and how would you use it?
I love it. Okay, go for it.
If I had one superpower, I would. I'm so dangerous. Don't ask me that. I think all kinds of things in my mind. No, you know what? The first thing that came to my mind, and the reason why I followed that trail really quickly, was I was like, I'd turn back time.
Oh, that's funny, because I thought I'd freeze. I'd be able to freeze time, freeze moments, and then, you know,
just keep it pushing.
Yeah.
And in a way, photographs do that for us, but it's the emotion of it. It's being able to sort of interact with that. But going back, and I guess your memories is that's God's way of allowing you to go back in time. But I would totally turn
Look
back
at you,
time.
you're trying to give me my superpower no matter what.
Yeah, I'm gonna have mine. I want.
So what's yours?
If I would turn back time.
Yeah.
I would turn back time and I'd totally hang out with my brother and my mom. Love you both, Firme Locas. Can't wait to see you in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So Dallas, Texas came up and we will be there on the 31st, which is a Monday, and we will be there at Arte Azteca Tattoos on Monday, July 31st. Where's Whisper? Whisper is actually still here in LA, and she is beautiful. She is a really incredible human being. It's so funny because I haven't actually gotten a chance to see her, but I get to interact with her online, and she's just like a really deep person. And she's just a woman, like, moving adelante. She's a really special person. And she's a family, and that's what she is. She's just being herself. Were you girls really from Echo Park?
Well, I grew up close to Echo Park, but not from, we weren't from the gang Echo Park, but I grew up close by.
And I, as most of you know who follow me regularly, I grew up in New York City, and I moved to LA. I feel like what I should say is I was born in New York, because I feel like so much of my life I really, really grew up in LA. But I moved from.
You were pretty New York when I met you.
Well, I was pretty New York, right? I was pretty ghetto. Like, I was pretty like.
No, you're in New York.
I was like kind of like. I was a homegirl from New York. I'll put it that way. I was a homegirl from New York. What would be a good theme song for your life?
Ooh. Man, you guys got some good ones. Let's see.
Theme song for me would be Golden by Jill Scott. She's like, I'm living my life like it's golden, baby, living my life like it's golden. And I just feel like that song is all about perspective, and it's about living your life like it's golden, because our lives are golden. They're fleeting, they're fast, but maintaining a perspective of knowing that you're blessed is so paramount to me.
I can't choose one right now. I can't.
What changed in your life when you became famous?
I don't know. I guess you felt a little bit more responsibility with your choices. They weren't only your choices. It seemed like, yeah, I think that's for me probably it. I don't know, what about you?
To be honest, that I don't feel famous at all, so I haven't really noticed. Like, I think that it still shocks me that people would say, oh, you're famous. You know, I get it that people, that, you know, like when people ask me for my autograph, or when we're walking down the street and someone recognizes me. I mean, I've seen crazy things. This is the thing that's crazy. I've seen this character, and that's the other thing, is like me. I look at Sadgirl and I say, she's famous. Of course, everybody knows who Sadgirl is, but I still don't equate that I'm wearing Sadgirl's face. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh yeah. I still get shocked. Like, I'm still shocked and humbled, and it's still very, very surreal. So I don't think, like, I still feel like when people recognize me, I'm like, it's almost like meeting someone from high school, like, hey, how are you? And oh, how are the kids? Like, you know.
Yeah.
That's probably didn't really answer the question, but that's just how I feel.
That's a good answer.
Who inspired you both to become actresses?
I had my 9th grade drama teacher who kind of pushed me in that direction. I was just in a class. It was a writing class, and they had they assigned everyone just to write a little skit, and I wrote one, and he read it, and he was like, "You should really think of doing this." And so he actually is the one who did all my paperwork, so I can go from junior high to a performing arts high school, and made sure that I made that transition. So Mr. Gleason, it's because of you.
There you have it. For me, I think that I just came from that kind of family. Like everybody was sort of like in that arena. So my brother Rick, of course, was an actor. My mom was an actress. I mean, she was actually a psychologist, but had a side acting gig.
Hey, that's not that. It's not that different.
Yeah, my mom was always a storyteller and a medicine woman and an amazing person. So I would say I just sort of slid into acting naturally. I went from a dance major, performing arts high school, into doing film and auditioning for plays in New York, and then to moving out here. So there were so many influences. I went to a performing arts high school, so I think I just was around it so much. Yeah. Sadie, why did you stop singing?
Ooh.
Ooh, somebody got you.
I even forgot that one. I don't know, just after I guess just during school, I just transitioned into acting, and fortunately, you know, I was very lucky where I got really busy, and it became most of my life, and so I think that everything, destiny and opportunity and life just kind of kept pushing me in that direction, and I just followed the path that was kind of there for me, and then eventually, I don't know, singing kind of became in the background. I miss it though sometimes.
You lovely ladies acted in any cheesy high school plays?
Yes, I did. And I loved it!
Yeah. I was actually a dance major, so I didn't do any high school plays in high school, but I did do a lot of performances, and I did a heck of a lot of cheesy plays after high school. You know, you just have to pay your dues, so you just want to take any kind of jobs that can really get you the experience that you need.
Yeah.
Ralph Gomez said hello. Ralph Gomez was the gentleman that allowed me to drive his bomb down the streets of downtown Los Angeles.
Lucky.
Oh!
Yes.
Remember?
You drove it? I wasn't there when you drove it.
You were there.
You drove it?
I drove the bomb around, and I was put out the siren.
Where
and
was
everything.
that? I wasn't there when you drove
You're
it.
ignoring me.
No, I didn't even know you. No, seriously, you drove it?
I drove it, and it's on it had the hydraulics going up and down. I
missed out. I wasn't there.
But
that's pretty cool.
He would have let you drive too.
No, I know.
I was terrified, to be honest. I was scared out my mind. Like, I was like, oh my God.
I did see it though, and it was beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It was.
Sadie, what do you got going on? Tell us.
Well, I think for me, it's like I've been doing more TV lately. When I had my kids, I kind of took time off and just removed myself even more. And so when I miss it, sometimes I still do shows. I did Shameless a few months ago. I'll be in this Halle Berry movie called Kings, coming up soon. I don't know when it'll be released, but I just did that, and I guess, I don't know, I mean, like I've done like the CSIs and CIS, all of those, but the most recent, I guess it would be Kings coming up.
Would you two come out in a movie together again?
Yeah, I love working with Angel.
I love working with
Angel. And what's funny is that when we were out there auditioning together, we had this thing, her and I, where we'd see each other at auditions, and I'd be like, okay, if I don't get this, Angel better get it. Angel better get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not even just saying it. And we kind of had that going for a long time. She's like my sister, and my acting sister, and like my sister outside. So that would be awesome. That'd be amazing because I love her so much.
No, I love Sadie. I love her family.
And you are freaking talented.
Oh,
okay.
And so are you, gorgeous and talented. Of course, we work in a film together. I think we're, we're in that position now where our kids are older, and we are definitely more amenable. For me, less so. Like, Sadie's still passionate about the acting perspective. I would be in a movie that was, in keeping with something that I really, really wanted to do. My mission over the course of the years has definitely changed. I really, really am more focusing my life and being into motivational speaking, as some of you know, and working with the community to change lives and mindsets. But I think that one of the things about acting is that it provides you a platform to do those things anyway. So if you work on a great film, you have the ability to be more influential and more sought after. So I would definitely do it from that perspective. Plus, it's fun. It is fun.
It is.
Acting is a lot of fun. Mousie loved you in the Selena movie also.
Oh, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about that experience, because I think that that's also something that was, you weren't part of just one epic
And we did
movie.
shoot some of it. We shot our stuff in San Antonio, so.
Yes, and also it's another movie that's sort of a pivotal, classic, cult movie.
Yes.
And really, pivotal on so many levels, because it iconicized a Latina star.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the few movies ever that's done that. It made Jennifer Lopez into a superstar.
And I think that the rock of it all was Gregory Nava. I think that I truly believe that they chose the right person to direct this movie. Greg has always, in all the stuff that I worked with him, has always been a very intense but very nurturing director. He's very sensitive, I think, at core as a writer and as a director. And I think that when it came to Selena, he really knew how to show the depth of it, the bond of the family, and the connection that the family had. And I think that a lot of his movies and a lot of his films have that. And of course, Jennifer was freaking perfect. She was amazing in it. Selena's family was very involved and very, very generous with the footage that they gave to us of her to work on the material. Obviously, I didn't have close to what Jennifer had, but even for us and for everyone involved in the film, they were very, very generous with the information, because I think that it was important to them that they really told the story right and accurately. So it was a very intense experience, but a positive one. And I'm so glad that you guys like it and that it's still out there. And they still remember her, because she was, what's funny is that I didn't really know who Selena was until Greg, talked to us about the movie or whatever. But when I saw her footage and when I saw her videos with her family and just in her life, like their family videos, this girl was special. And she truly was special. She was just alive and full of just glow. Like that, she smiled and she laughed, but it was all so full and positive and beautiful. That to me, not knowing who she was, and by the time I was done viewing all of this and just observing this person, I just fell in love with her and who she was. So I guess that's all.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's funny that you didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
I knew who she was because I live in Venice, and I had to listen to my neighbor play her album over and over, and it was this young guy, and he would be singing "Amor Prohibido." And he was like, and I was like, this is my life. Like, I'm stuck listening to my neighbor prance around his house.
Can you
like,
do Bidi Bidi Bum Bum instead?
I was like, oh my God. And it would be on a repeat. So I was just like, okay, who is this? And I figured out who she was, and she was spectacular. The singing aspect was one aspect of her, but that she was a talented designer. And I also felt like she was so influential in how women viewed their bodies, particularly Latina women, who we've always, you know, there's like the culture that tries to kind of fit into more American style culture. She rode this fence, but she brought that voluptuousness straight up into American culture. And she was like, well, this is the move.
Yeah, this is who I am.
Yeah, she
and
was
I
just
love
so
it.
confident
And
and
I love
young.
me, so love that.
Yes, and to be so young and so confident, she was just next level.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna head on off now and say goodbye to you all and say thank you so much for coming on, joining us for the conversation. Hopefully there will be more of these to come.
Yes.
And we love you very much. And Texas, we'll be seeing you very shortly.
Margarita, we can't wait to see you.
Absolutely. We will see you soon. Al rato.